Hey, what is going on everybody? It is Nolan, or the Optimistic Gamer here, and welcome back to the Optimistic Survival series. In the last episode, near the end of it, I mentioned that our wood supply was very depleted and that I would need to gather some more so that in the coming episodes we would have enough to work on all of our projects. I did not get around to that, however, for one specific reason. Today I would like to set up our tree farm, a permanent tree farm that we will resort to for the duration of this series, or at least many episodes to come. Something more permanent, as I said, nothing temporary where we are just planting them down and harvesting them as they grow. This is actually going to be sort of automated. We will still chop the trees ourselves, but we will throw all of the wood that we gather into some canals, which the design is actually inspired by Pixel Riffs. I'm sure it's not original to him. I'm sure it's very common in the Minecraft survival community, but that is where I saw it and I really like that whole concept, so we are going with canals. We will have many different plots for all of our tree types, and we may even have a plot for our warped and crimson stems as well. We will see if we get around to those. As for the design of this, what I'm thinking is for each plot we can outline it with the wood type of whatever tree we are going to grow on it. So the oak plot will be outlined with oak wood, and so on. I don't think we have all that much oak wood though, so I think we will start with the spruce wood, although those trees are a little bit unique in their shape, so we will start with birch and go from there. We will also need a few buckets. It might not be a bad idea to make an infinite water source up there as well, since we will be using a lot of water. Also, our villagers are coming along nicely. We aren't quite full, we aren't up to capacity yet, but we are slowly getting there. As for the wall, well, you can see how little progress has been made on that. Don't worry though, that will be worked on in the coming weeks. So we are building this right up here, pretty close to the copper house, although this is the very top of where this build will be, and we will sort of staircase down. Now, off the top of my head, I think we have 10 different tree types. We have 11 different tree types if we are including the 2 nether woods, which I think we will. There are certainly applications for them, and we have even used them in the past. So I think we will build our first plot maybe right about here. We do want to leave enough space in that direction and that direction so that we can expand and we can remove that oak tree right there. That is not a problem. So we will have our corner log right there, and then we will go for maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 blocks. Do we want 9 by 9 in the middle or 11 by 11? I think we will probably want 11 by 11, so we will go a couple extra blocks there. That was 12, we will move that back by 1 block, and then we will extend in this direction as well. So we will have our 4 corners like that, and these will be built up so that they are all level. Again, in between each of these is where the canals will be, so that's okay if we have a large gap. And then we will have some sideways logs going around to outline this. There we go, something like that. We will go ahead and fill in the inside. As for the walls here, those sort of retaining walls, we will match that to whatever materials we decide to use for the canals themselves. But let's go ahead and fill all of this in now. I do want this to be solid. I don't want any hollow spaces. We don't want any unnecessary mob spawns or anything like that. And there we go, so that will give us space for our birch trees, and we can move on with our next wood type. I think we will probably do dark oak. I think we should have a fair amount of that. We actually had only about a half stack of dark oak, but we have lots of acacia wood and lots of cherry wood, so we will go with that. Let's go ahead and remove this oak tree right here. And I think we will, well, clear some space in our inventory and then decide what we want here. I think what we will do is have our canal. I'm trying to decide if we want a 3-block gap between each farm or a 1-block gap. I think we will go with 3. We may run into issues with items getting caught on the sides here, but it will look a lot nicer than if we were to do a 1-block gap. And I think we will have it at this level. Alright, so that takes care of the acacia plot just as the rain begins. What I'm thinking for how we will lay this out is maybe we will go one more plot in this direction, and that will give us 3, or maybe we will even go 2 more to have 4 plots right there, and then we will go this way for 4 more plots adjacent to those, so that will put us up to 8, and then 1 more this way will put us at 12 plots minus 1 in the corner where we can have all of the wood feed. So that would be 11 plots in total, which is the 11 tree types that we have. I'm sure more wood will be added in future Minecraft updates, but that probably won't be for about another year or so, so we should be okay. I will include bamboo in this, even though it's technically not a normal sapling tree. We will still fill our entire plot with it, and then we can go through and harvest it with a sword as we need to. And I do kind of want to think about the tree types and how we place them. I don't know that we want to have cherry right next to the acacia trees, although I guess it doesn't really matter. We do have a 3-block gap in between them, so I guess we will maybe opt for that. I'm sure it will be okay. So we are up to 3 tree plots now. We have our birch, acacia, and cherry right down here. I think we will test our luck with the spruce logs now. I don't think we will have quite enough to finish, but I do want to elevate these a little bit since we will be growing the large spruce trees, which will convert the grass into podzol. I don't want to turn all of that into podzol, so it will be nice to have that elevated a little bit. So we are definitely not going to have enough logs for this, but we can at least get it started. I think we will go up to roughly the same height as the cherry logs, maybe a few blocks below. Something about like this should be good. I think that is a pretty good frame for that. So again, we will have canals, and all of these streams will flow in between each of these tree farms. As we harvest them, and as our inventory fills up, we can throw all of our wood products into the stream. It will take them down and maybe automatically sort them, or maybe just dump them into a few different chests that we have down in our collection area. As for the rest of this area, we will eventually build up around here and sort of block this. Maybe we will even turn this into some kind of park or something like that, since it would be nice to have some greenery once we develop this whole area. It should be a while though before we get around to that. So we have 4 wood types, so we are about halfway there. We need to do our dark oak next, which we might have. I take that back. We are not going to have enough for this, but again, we can get it started. We will build this adjacent to the birch, and we can get the grass filled in before we go out and get a little bit more dark oak. I guess we could even get our farm going in action, so we will grab a few of those dark oak saplings. We did finish off the cherry. We are going to need some jungle, some spruce, oak, and I think that's it actually. I think just the oak, jungle, spruce, and dark oak. We might as well take some bamboo with us so we can get that planted. The mangrove is another one that is sort of a peculiar case, but we will get that taken care of momentarily. We will still include mangrove as part of our tree farm, but the plot for it will look a little bit different. So there's all of the grass for our dark oak plot, and we can start to get some of these trees placed in. I'm not really sure the symmetry of this since we, no pun intended by the way, but I guess we will just kind of figure this out. Can we place one right there? I hope those aren't too close to each other, and maybe one right there. I guess that will maybe work. Let's see if we can bone meal these now. We really only need one tree, but as long as they all grow, and it looks like they do. There we go, and these are actually filling in quite nicely. Let's get one more right there. We have a little bit of extra bone meal and a little bit more space right back here. We might as well use up that bone meal. There we go. So we can now harvest all of these trees. Again, we really only need one right now. And if this were the real deal, we would have a stream right here, and when we harvest all of that wood, it would go into that stream and take care of it. We could get our allays out here, but for all 11 plots, it seems like it would be a little bit of a hassle. So we are just going to stick with the canals to move the wood for us. I think what we will also do is have either a chest or a barrel at each plot where we can store bone meal and the saplings for that plot. That way we always have the materials we need to grow a specific type of tree. The whole thing is going to be very streamlined. I'm pretty excited for it. This is just a glimpse into how the finished thing will be. So that takes care of the dark oak. The spruce down here we can start to fill in with grass. I don't know if we will fill in this whole thing. There is quite a bit going on in there. So I think we will just put a layer of grass on top for now, place some torches underneath, and I don't know, maybe we will turn it into some kind of secret underground hangout area or something like that. And while I'm thinking about it, we will also have some torches or some kind of light source, maybe lanterns, that go all the way around here. I don't know if I mentioned that before or not, but that will keep the area safe at night. So let's go get a few spruce trees planted. Again, it is probably going to turn all of this grass into podzol. I don't know if it can spread in between these blocks, not that it really matters, but we will go ahead and remove that grass. I'd rather have grass than podzol. It's a little bit more valuable to us, at least right now. And same thing as the dark oak, these are an even number in length, 2 blocks each, so they won't fit perfectly into our plots. But that's okay, we can just place a couple offset here, and they all should fill in quite nicely. We do need a little bit more bone meal though. Maybe there are some skeletons lingering about. It looks like we have one right down here. We will swoop in for the kill. There we go, and with our 1 bone, that probably won't be enough, but we will see. We will test our luck. Although I'm just realizing we need to break these quick because we are on the cherry plot, not the spruce plot. I am glad I realized that before turning all of this grass into podzol. That would have been a disaster for us. I was wondering why we had grass bordering it anyway, so this is more like it. We should be okay with the podzol. It was a waste of bone meal, but that stuff is very inexpensive. So let's go ahead and do take 2 on this. There we go. It will convert the podzol. Uh-oh, it looks like we have converted some of it over here, but none of it spread up to the cherry plot, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So with this tree, we can go ahead and fly up there. We can chop it down, and we should have enough wood to finish up our spruce plot. There we go, that takes care of that. So this is how far the tree farm will extend out in this direction. Now it will extend a couple plots in this direction, and I think about where that hill is where the collection mechanism will be. We may end up leveling that. It's not that big of a hill, nothing that I would feel bad about getting rid of. I think next we will do our jungle wood, which we also do not have any of, so we will just have to kind of mark holes where the jungle wood will go, and then we can go in here and place in our jungle saplings and fill in some of the grass that is missing. And this plot is perfect for the jungle trees since those will produce vines, and if we have anything like this, we will have vines crawling down the retaining wall, so it's nice to have a plot that won't really have any kind of retaining wall. I guess it will have a little one that leads into the canal, but nothing like what we have over at the spruce, which those saplings are falling off the tree at a nice rate, which also, occasionally they should fall into the canals, or if we run them 3 blocks wide, which we also may end up doing, and hey, look at that, we have another tree and a creeper right over here. But if we end up doing a 3 block wide canal, some of the saplings that fall will end up going through that stream, so we don't have to worry about collecting them, but I don't ever see that being an issue for us if we spend enough time at each plot. In fact, I will go ahead and grab these saplings right here, just so that we have them. Alright, so let's get a couple jungle trees planted. Again, we are going with the extra large ones, and again, these are gonna be offset. That's okay. There we go, and it seems that they are intruding into the neighbor's plot, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about the vines in all actuality. They do take quite a bit of bone meal though, but we do get a lot of wood. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, these are the highest yielding trees. We shouldn't need more than 1 tree though to finish the tiny plot outline for this. It also doubles as a vine farm if we want to come in here with some shears. It's a great way to get some vines so that we can make mossy stone and things like that. Once again, we will get those corners placed in and the sideways logs right there. So we have one more of the classic wood types to get in, and that is the oak wood. We will put that right there, and then that will leave us with bamboo, crimson, warped wood, and what's the last one that we are missing? Mangrove. Yes, that special case that we will get around to at the end. We will get some oak trees planted right down here. We desperately need those. And I think we will just wait for some of those to grow naturally. So that will take care of all of the original wood types, including cherry as well. If we wanted to, we could put bamboo right down here. We do have a patrol. Should we go get an ominous bottle? I don't see why not. There we go, and let's see what we got. Bad Omen 2. So we need to think about the layout here. We could put bamboo, or we could do one of the nether woods, or the mangrove. I think we will probably go with bamboo right there. We will do mangrove right down there, and then we will do our 2 nether woods right here. In hindsight, we probably should have done those 2 in the back where they are hidden from view, but we will not keep those fully grown. We will keep those trimmed so that we have some actual greenery filling in the horizon instead of the warped and crimson stems. But they definitely have their uses, don't get me wrong. So we will harvest some of this bamboo right here and take that up to our tree farm, and we will mark where we want to build this. Again, it will be in line right here with the spruce and the oak farms, just a little bit lower. I think maybe we don't want to go too low. I think this would be a good height though. Honestly, what we may end up doing for our bamboo, just because there is so much of it that falls down every time we harvest, is we might set up some kind of hopper minecart system underneath the grass here. That way we can collect it. I don't think bamboo grows on mud. It might not be a bad idea to check though, because then we can just use standard hoppers. Either way, I think that would be a great idea for us, since it can get a little bit difficult to navigate. In the meantime, we will go ahead and place down some of the bamboo that we have so that that can start growing and we can finish up this barrier here. We do have some oak trees that have started to fill in, so we should be able to harvest all of these and get the oak perimeter built. But we have 3 more plots to go. We have our 2 nether woods, which will go right up here, and of course the mangrove, which will go down there. But I think we might actually switch that up. I think we will do mangrove up here, just so that we don't have the either warped or crimson stems facing into the valley. We will hide those in the grass a little bit more. That way we can have the tree farm looking a little bit nicer. The mangrove logs are a bit more presentable. So we will have these a couple blocks below the dark oak just so we get that nice stacked look going with this. I think we will have it be right here for the grass level and sort of extend in this direction. The way we are going to do the mangrove is, instead of having dots of water like how we have the oak saplings down there, we are just going to have water in 4 of the corners, maybe 1 pool of water in the middle, and that will be where we grow our propagals. So to better visualize that, what I'm thinking is maybe 1 block in on each corner here is where we will have our 4 water holes. And then we will have 1 more in the center. That should give, although maybe not. I think we will just have 1 in the middle, since the mangrove roots actually do extend kind of far. That's okay though. The way I farm these is I will place 1 propagal. In fact, I can showcase it right now. I'm sure many of you probably do this as well. I place 1 in the water. I bone meal it a couple of times here. There we go. And then I will clear away some of the roots. Yeah, it looks like those are extending all the way out to the edge of the plot. I will clear away the roots here at the bottom, and then I will plant another propagal and bone meal that a few times and just get a few trees. Once I have a handful of trees growing, then I will fly to the top and slowly start to level them with both a hoe clearing away the leaves and an axe for the wood. And then I will go and compost the leaves and then get some bone meal, and it's a pretty sustainable process as a whole. So we will do this a few times until we have enough mangrove wood, or until we get a very small tree that sort of blocks the rest of it, because I don't want to spend too much bone meal on 1 single propagal. So again, I will fly up here and just start to clear away all of these leaves. And I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but we have a beehive in our mangrove tree. I guess there may be bees in there, but I don't think it really matters. It is nighttime, we don't have any around. We will hang on to that. That is very interesting. I did not know that beehives spawned in mangrove trees. And that will take care of the mangrove plot, so we just have 2 to go. It is the 2 nether trees. I don't know what we have in the way of those nether wood types. I don't think we have that much, but I could be wrong, and I hope that we are wrong. It would save us a little bit of time. We have a few warped stems. We do not have any crimson stems though. We will get started with the warped stems and see how we do with these. And these do have a little bit of a different growth process than the traditional tree that we have in the overworld. Of course, these have to grow on their respective nether soils, the warped nylium and crimson nylium, which we actually do have a little bit of, so that will not be an issue. I think we might go into the ground by 1 block here, just so that we're not on the same level as the jungle tree there. So we will get this grass cleared away to make way for the nylium. And similar to how the jungle trees double as a vine farm, and apparently the mangrove trees as a bee farm, these will double as a shroom light farm, which is great because I love using those shroom lights for lighting around the village. So right here we will get our netherrack placed down. We do have enough crimson nylium to fill in the entire plot, but we only have 2 warped nylium, so we will place this down in the middle, and when we bone meal it, it should convert the netherrack into that warped nylium. So I guess we will just start from the middle, and of course it is a very slow process. I forgot we have to bone meal the netherrack, not the nylium itself. Of course, the nylium is how we will get a hold of the stems, and there we go. It is as simple as that. We do want to get that bottom stem off of the nylium though, that way it doesn't convert back into the netherrack. If it does, it's not a big deal. We can always bone meal it, but we don't want that to convert into netherrack. So we will bone meal that a couple more times as well, and we will chop down this stem right here. Now obviously those do not decay on their own, so we will have to go through with our netherite hoe. I think we may end up bringing a beacon over here with haste 2, that way we can quickly destroy that, but that is not a big priority for us at the moment. And there is our crimson nylium plot all put into place. Our oak trees seem to be doing really healthy over here. Of course, we don't have too many other saplings planted. Our spruce trees have filled in, and the bamboo is also doing a pretty decent job as well. We are just about there. We have a couple more perimeters to fill in. We need to get our canals into place, and then our tree farm will be finished. There we go, that takes care of the warped stems, and lastly, the crimson stems. Okay, well this very well could be the tallest crimson stem I have ever seen. That is pretty impressive, and that should also be enough to finish off. We have a spider jockey down there. That should be enough to finish off this barrier right here, the perimeter, I guess. And there we have it. All 11 platforms are finished and things are looking pretty good. We have most of our trees into place. We are still missing birch, acacia, and cherry. Of course, we have already harvested one of our crimson stems. So again, things are looking quite nicely for us. I think we will finish this up in the next episode. We will go ahead and make this a two-parter just because the canals and the collection mechanism are going to take some time, and I really want to spend some time on those and make sure that they are both streamlined and that they look really, really nice. For now, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely hit that thumbs up button and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on daily content as soon as I publish it. Check the description for some more important information, links, how to contact me, all of that good stuff. And with all of that being said, comment, like, subscribe, remember to stay optimistic, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Bye!